What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Turbo today. It is the 29th day of November, and here we are sitting at about $0.002 with 7 hours left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. Unfortunately, we have dropped down about 12% today. It's a pretty big drop. We still have a lot of time left. We still got 7 hours left in the day. There's more than enough time to come back and eat this back. Maybe we close neutral. Maybe we even close green. Maybe we close lower, however it is. But we are in a precarious situation. I was just making a video on Toshi talking about this, and I was looking at Turbo just as a reference for like where its price was. And seeing this drop like this does make me wonder if this wasn't just some random pump and dump kind of mechanic that's going on right now. And we typically do see these pump and dump things happen with popular cryptos in times like this where the whole market's bored, right? And that can really upset the idea of this V-shaped recovery. If this is a V-shaped recovery, you should come all the way up. Ooh, you know what? I do wonder though. Was it a V-shaped recovery to this point? Did we stop right there? It could have been to this point. I would think that the V-shaped recovery would go all the way up here, but who cares what I think? It doesn't matter. It just matters what the charts are doing. I want to look. Let's look at this high to low and just see where we are. Let's make sense out of this. Okay. So we've gone up to our 382. Typically, you do wick above the 382, and then you come down and you come back to the 236. Yesterday, we theorized that we'd keep pushing higher because you've already gone from your 382 to your 236 and then up. So we thought here you would be pushing higher. Very confidently, too. Unfortunately, that just didn't happen. I wonder why. Let's look at Turbo. Did you have a lack in volume? No. You had a lot of volume. It's kind of interesting. You do have a lack in volume on this drop down. That gives me some confidence. This actually gives me some confidence that this is like, it's going to get given back. I think this is more or less quote-unquote false price action. We'll see. Am I missing something? That's a big drop for there not being that much volume. Is there another exchange? Does Turbo trade Binance? Okay, Turbo, or Binance trades Turbo. Okay, there's some volume. There's where the volume came in. But still dropping off in volume, even as you're dropping here. I don't know. I'm not buying this dump so much. Let me restate that. I would buy this dump. I'm not buying that it's real. I don't know. And obviously it is real. Here we are. But looking at this here, you broke out of your uptrend in the RSI, lower lows, lower highs. Once you break out of your downtrend, that should promote some growth. So one of two scenarios is what I see happening here, okay? And I guess the third one could prove me wrong. We just dropped through the floor. But one of two. One, maybe we go lower and then we move up. Maybe we bounce from here, whatever it might be. But when we do move up, we will find a lower high, and then we will come down and we will correct. This is just an overall pump and dump back to normality, and then we continue to grow from there. Or scenario two, we do push higher from here, and we do push on to new all-time highs, or new relative highs. So it is important to keep in mind what we do next. I'm kind of curious what levels we should pay attention to. Let's use the daily time frame again. Hold on. Would it be this high to this low? And then we look at it on a 1 hour time frame. Yeah, the 382. That's probably a good marker there. Let's do it a little bit more strict, and let's do this 1 hour closing high here. I want to go to a 4 hour time frame and see. Yeah, that's a good 4 hour area as well. Close above the 382. Get a 4 hour time frame to close above 0.0025. If you can do that, 2 4 hour time frames in a row to close above 0.0025, and then I think we're moving higher. If you move up to this area or below and you come back down, you reject it, looks like a lower high, that could express lower prices. And again, we probably return back to normality somewhere down here, like as if this pump never happened. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. Again, before today, we had this V-shaped recovery in mind, and it's still possible this V-shaped recovery is playing out. You can have a red day in V-shaped recoveries, but today, the fact that we didn't push on immediately as I thought we would yesterday, it's making me rethink things a little bit. Maybe this is where the V started. Again, that's the hardest part with V-shaped recoveries is kind of like where did they start? Where did it start? Because it could have started here, and this could just be a failed V, and if it is a failed V, it'd come back down. Anyways, enough head scratching. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, the RSI is bearish at the moment, so I wouldn't be surprised if we did see slightly lower prices. On that note, I actually do want to leave this fib up here from a low to a high. We'll leave that fib there. And maybe you hit the 382. Oh, look at that. It's so perfect. It's perfect. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, you did it twice. Bro, I don't know. 53 minutes left in this 1 hour. Let's see how it goes. Your RSI is still somewhat bearish, but you could bounce here. You really could. I mean, you look at this like it is on the... Let me use these lines here. Let's see. You kind of broke out of it already, didn't you? You actually have broken out of it. I mean, maybe that's all the more reason to find support and move up higher. Look at where you are every time you found support in the last, like, few weeks, or last week. That's all the way back to the 22nd. So over the last week, it's been around here. Can you go lower? Sure, but this move is probably close to being over. The fact that you're at the 382, I wouldn't be surprised if you did exactly what you're doing right now, which is tip it, bounce it, and then move off of there. Or maybe... it's very common to do this. Maybe you wick just below the 382, you find support down there, and then you come back up and close. Closing above 0023 would be very good. I think that would look very good. We said 0025. I think that's the ultimate level, maybe. And not the ultimate level, but just the... it's really hard to argue that we'd be moving down if you close above 0025 on a 4-hour closing basis. But even here, 00232... that might be a good enough area as well. If we can close 4-hour time frames above there, I might start getting excited. Even before we close above 0025, honestly. That 236, especially with the respect that we've shown on these fibs so far, you found direct support at the 236 here, you're finding direct support at the 382 here, you found direct support at the 382 back there. I would think that closing above this 236 would be a good thing. On Binance, you do have a decrease in volume. See, on Coinbase, you didn't have that, but on Binance, you did, and that marked the top. But again, you're still decreasing in volume even as you're going down. So I really do think that we're going to move up higher. Great. That's good. Good things. Stochastics are, well, they're pretty bearish. They look bad. And so does the MACD, but whatever. You know, you look your worst with these typically when you're at your worst, which means you hit rock bottom. The best thing about hitting rock bottom is there's nowhere left to go but up. 4-hour RSI, we do have lower lows in the RSI with higher lows in the price. That is hidden bullish divergence. It's a good thing. Stochastics are right at the 50, the same area we've bounced from this whole time. It's a good thing. MACD is crossing red right now, which, believe it or not, is actually a good thing, depending on how we do it, right? If we really start building some momentum, okay, that could be bad. But if it's a false cross, like, like that, that's great. If it's a false cross like this on the green, right? False cross red, false cross green. You want your MACD to trend, and whenever it trends, it touches back and it moves up. It touches back or it gets close to and it moves up. Touches back and then it moves up. These false crosses count. And even to the downside, it's the same thing. So that's actually a powerful signal if we can maintain some support relative around here, okay? Looking good. Daily time frame, you are rejecting the overbought zone, and that's not friendly. That's not a good thing. When you reject the overbought zone, you look to find support in 3 places, or all hell breaks loose. Well, really, hell will break loose if you don't find support in 2 places, either at the 60 or the 50. And I should say, I mean, to be completely fair, we're down 12%, but from the high, we're down 24%. So it's still pretty hellish seeing the drop happen already, right? 60 would be a good area to bounce from. 50 would be a good area to bounce from as well. So maybe we close here and we bounce. That'd be a strong signal. That'd be a strong reversal to this rejection. But if we go down to the 50, we reset and we can move up higher. We could go down to the 40, but I'd rather not see that happen, right? Again, just with this 4-hour MACD, we want this to be small, not long. So hopefully we do find some support here soon. After all, we are right at our 382 from the low to high. We are right at prior resistance points here and support points here. I can see it happening. It makes sense to me. I must admit, I'm a little bit more bullish than I started this video with. I was prepared to hurt some people's feelings, be like, guys, we might come back down, but maybe we do. It's important to keep that in mind. It is important to keep that in mind. But if we do go lower, you know, I would think that we probably find support at 00165 to 00175, somewhere in there. I don't think we'd go lower. Or if we do go lower, it would be very short-lived time. But at this point in time, I'm actually considering that we still do move up. So that's great. That's awesome. If we are considering that we still see higher prices from a high to a low, not the fake scam wick low, but the low here, the next target to consider is the golden ratio, which is all the way up at 0037 to 0042. Right there. That's the area. And from here, from this price, 12% off today, that is an 80% to 90% move. That's some solid growth, guys. Anyways, I got nothing else for you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. We'll see how this goes. If you come back, it's not that you won't go back up to these levels. It's not that you won't see those levels that we were just projecting. It's that it won't happen as fast. We're expecting this kind of movement, where if you come down, it might, it might take time. It might be more time, and that's not a problem, but it is discouraging if you're expecting 80% gains within like the next week, like I am. Anyways, take care. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.